Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, many home sellers want to sell their home for the most money they can get, obviously, but there are some situations where people need to use other non-traditional ways of selling. Can you explain how a home seller with a house to sell can buy their next home and actually do that first?
Well, Richard, it's the biggest dilemma for 80% of home buyers looking to move up or downsize or whatever. They need their net proceeds to move to their next home. And so they can't get their net proceeds until their home is sold. The problem is when they actually make an offer contingent on their home selling, it's a very weak offer. Most sellers are going to reject that offer. And I ask the home sellers all the time, how do you feel about this offer? A buyer says, oh, we love your home. We want to make a good offer, but will you reserve your home for me and wait for me to sell my home? And oh, by the way, it's not even on the market yet. I don't want to sell my house unless I know I can get yours. That's definitely a catch-22. It puts both parties in this uncertain zone where they don't know when the home is going to sell. It's very nice that they like the home, but if they can't, they're not a buyer yet, right? They can't perform. So the traditional ways that these are done are with, maybe you get a home equity line of credit and you have to qualify for your current house as well as your next house. That could be a problem for a lot of people. The other problem might be that you have to have your loan on your house paid off before you can buy your next home. And then the other problem is, what about the buyer for your home? So we've got one closing this week where they made an offer contingent on their home selling. Their home just went under contract. So it was a lot of risk for the seller. Why is that? Well, because they not only have to worry about their own appraisal, their own inspection, their own loan approval for the buyer buying their home, but they have to worry about all three of those issues for the buyer that's buying their buyer's home. And it's kind of like this domino effect that if one of them doesn't go right, it can crash the whole deal. I think the worst one I ever had was over the holiday weekend, between Christmas and New Year's. Supposed to sell before the end of the year. Of course, the lender can't pull it off. And it was a three-way transaction. So the buyer buying our buyer's home also had a house to sell. So their home had to go well. This buyer's deal had to go well. And the loan that they're doing to buy the house that we were selling had to go well. And of course, it did close, but it didn't close on time. So that's another nightmare if you have to all of a sudden make all these new moving arrangements because the lender can't pull it off on time. And I hate to say this, but these lenders have a really tough time pulling off a closing on time. Most of them can't do it. It's never their fault. It's always the underwriter or the appraiser or somebody else. They don't plan ahead. And then, oh, sorry, we can't close this week. Oh, can you give us, a few more weeks? And in the meantime, the home seller's making moving plans, and they're planning on funding the moving out of the proceeds of the sale. So there's a lot of things that could go wrong with a contingent sale. But the worst ones are the offers that come in where their home is not on the market and they're asking the seller to actually just take their house off the market and wait for them to sell their home whenever, especially if it's in another state. It's just too much uncertainty for most home sellers to accept. So what can buyers do about it? Well, one option is to do a home equity line of credit if you have home equity. And in that case, you have to qualify for the loan that you currently have, the home equity line of credit payment, as well as the payment on the new house. A lot of people can't pull that off. There's also something called a bridge loan. Now, if you have really good qualification, that can be done, and it's a nice, smooth transaction. But for most people, it's difficult to qualify for two houses. Also, when you make a contingent offer like that, it's definitely putting your offer at risk of not getting the home and getting moved out by a buyer that doesn't have a house to sell. And just so you know, when I get contingent offers on my listings, the first thing I'm doing is taking a look at the house that's going to sell and seeing, okay, well, how sellable is it? Is it really priced right? Because I'm not sure every agent really knows how to price it right. They'll talk a big game and say, oh, yeah, we got it priced aggressively. I had one that promised me that, and they got an offer and the seller rejected their offer. So boom, we didn't have the sale go through. So there's just so much uncertainty with a contingent sale. It could derail the home buyer that wants to buy their dream home from getting the house. Another problem is, let's say they're building a house. There's an awful lot of builders that will not accept a sale contingency. Or if they do, there's a deadline. They'll say, all right, we'll give you 60 days to get a contract while we're building this house. But if you don't have it under contract at this point, we're going to put our new construction home that we built for you back on the market and get a new buyer for it. We have a solution for all of this. So don't worry. I'm just trying to, kind of present the problem so you understand it. But we have a really good solution, and that's the whole point of this segment. Right now, the average days on market, all up and down the Front Range, is about 120 days in most of the counties. Okay, but those days on market numbers are calculated only on the homes that are selling. It does not include the ones that are not selling, which there are quite a few of those. And then we have, there also, let's say you make an offer and somebody else makes an offer. They don't have a house to sell, or you're competing with a cash buyer, which probably 22 to 25% of the offers right now in the US are cash buyers. It's tough to compete with a cash buyer if you as a buyer are getting a loan. You have to worry about appraisal. You have to worry about loan approval, and so does your seller. Believe me, every seller asks me, how's the appraisal going? What did the appraisal come in at? Did it come in at asking price or not? And we never know. They won't give it to us. They keep that the best kept secret on the appraisal, unless it appraises for less than the agreed upon sales price. So at the end of the day, home sellers, when they're selling a home, they want certainty. With our program, you can buy a home and close in as quickly as 5 days, and then go ahead and put your home on the market after that. And it's not a very expensive program. It allows you to be able to make that transition with certainty. I talked to a home seller recently that wanted to move into a different floor plan, a different location. And there are some properties on the market that would fit their profile, but they can't make an offer until their home is selling. So this program solves that problem. And it allows you basically to buy your next home first, and then you put your home on the market at your pace. And you don't have to worry about bridge financing or anything like that. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about how to buy your dream home first without selling first. And when we come back, we're going to give you a little bit more detail about the program and give you some ideas on how you qualify. And if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call. We have tens of thousands of buyers just in our little database of buyers in waiting. We also have dozens of cash buyers that can buy your home if you want to go that way. They even compete with each other, which is really fun. So the cash buyers some of these options are really, really good and not very expensive. And if you are thinking of moving, typically we can match at least 1,000 buyers. That would be a high match for your home once we go on the market. And you can just give us a call and we'll come over and give you a really good idea on what to do, what not to do to get your house ready for sale, give you an idea what your home will sell for in this market, show you how much you'll put in your pocket when it sells. And all you have to do is call us at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Real Estate Voice, you're listening to Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold, Guaranteed Realty. If you're interested in selling your home, you want to call Barb. The number is 719-301-3900. And we're talking, Barb, about selling a home. Barb, why would a home seller be interested in finding out about a solution to help get into your next home while your first home still needs to be sold?
Well, I find, Richard, that most people will not move unless they are pretty certain where their destination is going to be. It's the uncertainty that's very disruptive. The benefit of this program that we offer is you don't have to have an appraisal. You can move quickly. If the perfect home hits the market, you can actually, put your finger on that and say, this is the one, and start the process. It minimizes the risk of the deal falling apart because your home didn't sell. It gives you peace of mind, certainty that your dream home is going to be there when you want it, as well as certainty that your home will be sold. You don't have to worry about repairs. It's really, really a good solution, and it gives you a negotiating advantage when you are purchasing your next home. That's another problem with sale contingencies. If I get an offer on one of my listings contingent on their home selling, those better be really good offers, because there's so much risk for the home seller. Chances of you getting rejected are really high if you come in well below asking price and ask for closing costs and all these concessions and fries with that too. It's just not going to work. But with our program, you're actually in a position where you can negotiate with great confidence. And the other big benefit of it is it allows you to move once. I've met a lot of people that decided, okay, I want to build this new home, so I'm just going to go ahead and sell my home, move into an apartment, wait for my new home to be ready, and that way I have certainty. Well, it's no fun moving. It's even worse when you have to do it twice or three times. So this allows you to basically move once, no temporary housing, no contingencies, make a strong offer, and be able to get your dream home before you sell your current home. To find out more, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold, Guaranteed Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, call Barb, 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing how to avoid contract failures on a home inspection when you are selling your home. Barb has that coming up next.